Happy Monday, everybody. Donnie Baker here with the LPR Sound Foundation. Look, today we're on a gear review tour, and I want to share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly in Studio B. If you guys are ready to go look at the good, the bad, and the ugly stuff we have here in Studio B, let's go. All right, let's talk about our Allen & Heath GS3000 console. This console's from 1995. This is the good part about Studio B. The console is the good part of Studio B, and this is it's 32 channels on 32 rails, and then 8 bus. So there's the 8 buses right there. I'm trying to watch the monitor at the same time, but I mean the EQs on this are really well done. The EQs are really well done. It reminds me a lot of the SSL. We have a couple of SSL channels over here, and a couple of SSL channel strips. And these EQs remind me a lot of those and where they're set and how they work and how they sound, actually. There's 4 stereo returns. This is the coolest part, I think, of this console right here, though. This is the, these are 2 channels of tube drivers. If you can see down inside there, the tubes might be glowing. There they are. You can see the glowing of the tubes. Those are actually Telefunken new old stock tubes in there as well. So basically what you can do, man, is you could drive a guitar through there. You could take 2 signals. These things are on the patch bay. So there's a line level input and a mic level input and an instrument level input. So you could drive whatever you need to through there and just crunch. You can just drive the tube a little bit harder. And this is what makes this console unique, I think. Like I said, I think we only have 8 channels of this connected in the room because it's a small room. We don't need all 32 in there. We're never going to do 32 in there. But we do have 32 coming back from the DAW onto the console. So we could mix actually on the console if we want to, if we needed to. And we've done that, and it's just, the hardest part about that is that there's no recall. This is strictly an analog console, so there's 0 recall. What we normally do is we do a hybrid mix. We'll mix in the box and then send stems out onto the console, or even individual. But we'll set, like I have here, I have the fader set at 0. We're gonna show you some drums here in a sec. But we run the faders at 0 dB and just do all the mixing inside the box. So there you go. Why don't we take a listen to this thing and see what it sounds like? See if we can't hear some differences in how it sounds if we run a stem through or a multi-track through or just strictly staying in the box. Okay, so this is a really simple drum pattern that we're gonna play three different times. Here's the way I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this first one we're gonna hear is going to be just strictly in the box. We're not using the console. The only thing we use the console for at this point is to monitor. So we can switch between speakers or have a volume control rather than having to reach way over for the Apollo volume control, which is in the rack. So the first one we're gonna do, we're not using the console at all. It's strictly in the box. The mix is in the box. Okay, I'm not gonna change the mix on any of these. So it's gonna be the same mix, the same plugins, the same everything. Okay, so the first one you're gonna hear is gonna be strictly in the box. The next one we're gonna be here is we're gonna take the stem, or as you can see here, we've got the folder, the routing folder. I'm gonna push the routing folder out to channel 1 and 2 on the console. Then I'm gonna route channel 1 and 2 into the master bus. No compression, nothing on it, strictly the stem, which is all the drums together on a two channels on the console, then to the master bus, then to your ears. Okay, then the third one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take each individual multi-track and I'm gonna put it on a channel on the console. I'm gonna put all the faders at 0 dB and route everything from the mix bus into the master bus into your ears. And we're gonna see if we hear a difference. This is what we're gonna do right now. All right, so those were the three different outputs of the drums. Let's go back to back to back again and see if we hear any difference. You know what? The differences aren't that great, but I do notice, and if you want to go back and listen to it again, just rewind a little bit. But listen to this though, the reverbs on the stem mix and the multi-track mix feel like they last a little longer, just like they're finishing up, where they feel a little cut off in the box mix. And also listen to that the last bar or so of that. There's a ride that comes in, and the ride just feels a little bit bigger on the stem mix, and even a little bit bigger on the multi-track mix. Not that, I mean, they're actually routed to the rooms, and the rooms are routed to, as a stem, are routed to the console, because the processing of the rooms and the processing of the overheads was on the subgroup or on the auxiliary. So I routed those instead of the multi-track of the rooms out. I wanted to get the processing of it, so to make it legit. So I don't know, man. It's really close. It's really close. I really don't see that much of a difference, but it just, for me, it feels better being on a console. Let me know if you agree. Let me know down in the comments if you agree. And if you know what, if you feel like we need to do this a little bit deeper, we can go a little bit deeper on it at some other point. We can do that. It's just I need to keep this kind of short because we're doing 3 pieces of gear today. The first piece of gear we just looked at was the A&H GS3000 from 1995. So let's take a look at the TAPCO Squeeze, which is a compressor. It's okay. It's just not really good. And I actually don't use it. I never use it because it's that bad. I've got other compressors which are better. I've got compressors in the box which are better than the TAPCO Squeeze. No diss on TAPCO. I just don't like how this one works. I don't like how it sounds, so I actually never use it. It's basically filling a hole in the rack. It's that bad. So let's take a listen to it. I'll put it on the master bus, then maybe we'll run some individual stuff through it, and let's see what it sounds like. All right, let's take a look at the TAPCO Squeeze SQ-2, which is a compressor. Here's a picture of it. Now, it looks cool. I mean, it looks all right. It's a stereo compressor. One of the things that really bothers me about it, though, is that it doesn't have a stereo. Like even the DBX 166, you could put both channels together and one channel works both. This one doesn't do that. So you got to try to match. You got to try to match the knobs on each channel because it could be different. Yeah, to give them props on one thing is that the channels have indents. So if you put it on, number 6, it'll be on number 6. You could dial it in on both of them. But to go in and out, you got to hit the 2 buttons at the same time for the in and out. That part kind of bothers me a little bit. Other than that, man, it's just not that great. Let's take a listen to it. Now, I know I feel like I'm laughing at it, but I am. I just don't like it. It's it wasn't that expensive. I think it was $99. When you could buy them new, I think they were $99. I bought it because I needed an extra one for working on. We were doing a live thing, and I needed 2 more channels for some vocals, and I didn't want to spend a bunch of money, so I bought this. And then, I thought, oh, let me put it in the rack. It looks kind of cute. It's got black and yellow on it. So let's go take a listen to it. Here we go. right, cool. That was just ran it a couple times. You'll see when I press in and out, and you'll hear a difference. It's just I was actually adding 6 dB of I was actually having to add 6 dB of gain back because it's just terrible, man. It's just not very good at all. It's just I just don't like it, and having to press the 2 buttons, and it's really difficult to see the. It's dark in the studio, and it's kind of difficult. I actually had to get a flashlight out so I could see what the knobs were. I just don't like it. Let's run a kick drum through it. Let me insert it on a kick drum and see what it does to a kick drum. You know what I noticed on that one, man? Even when, all right, so the tap goes on bypassed, and even when I inserted it, it sounded different. If I take it in and out of the insert, it sounds different. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It might sound weird because I'm gonna unplug and plug it in on the patch base, but let's take a listen to what that sounds like. So that was even with, it's in bypass, but just the signal running through it made a difference. And that to me is bothersome. That means that it's not a true bypass on the unit. I mean, $99, you might not get a true bypass, but you do on the DBX 166, which is kind of weird. So let's run some bass through this thing and see if we can't dial in some bass and see if we can get it to sound better. I said, not too bad on the bass, but yeah, it doesn't make that much of a difference. I tried dialing it in a little bit better. Tried, the faster attack, faster release, slower attack, slower release. Didn't do much for me. Not like other compressors that you can get some growl, especially on a bass, man. You get some nastiness on a bass. Yeah, look, it's just a bad piece of gear that I don't like. It's just filling a hole in my rack. Maybe if I get something else to put in the rack, I'll throw this up as a gift or give it to somebody who needs it more than I do. So there you go. Hey, let's take a look at the Furman headphone amp, the headphone distribution system that we use here in Studio B. All right, I'm calling this the ugly piece of gear because it's that tan colored looking PC thing from the 1990s, man. It's a cool piece of gear though. I mean, it's pretty neat. It runs on Ethernet. So in the other room is the headphone where we plug the headphones in for the artist. But what we could do is we normally just send the headphone. We normally just send the artist this just a 2-track, just what we're listening to in the room. That's generally enough for everybody, because we can take the output of the Apollo or take the output of the console and just run it straight. It's hardwired straight into that. It's normal straight into that on the patch bay. Let me see if I can show this, see the patch bay. This is where it is on the patch bay. So the headphone out comes straight into the stereo mix on the headphone jack. Now we do have 4 more that we can send. If, let's say, the artist needs to hear just himself louder, we can give him a me knob. All right, and there's 4 different inputs for the me knobs on the unit that's in the room, and the artist can adjust. So we could send, let's say we could send the beat on one, we could send the effects on another, we could send the vocals on one, or let's say there's more than one vocal, or they need to hear a click separately. Sometimes they need to hear that. If it's a guitar player, they might want to hear the click separately from the mix, or separately from their vocals or whatever. I mean, we have 4 inputs. Now the one we're going to show you in the one we have in the back has 16 inputs. It's the Aviom system. This Furman, I mean, it's not bad, dude. You can still find these on Reverb for $100 or so, 150 bucks. I've seen them go as much as $1,500 for 4 boxes and the head unit here. But other than that, man, this thing's it doesn't really fit in the rack. I mean, if you look at the rack's pretty cool. It's got the patch bays all like trimmed up and looking good and labeled and everything, and everything else is pretty much black. Yeah, everything else is pretty much black in the entire studio. You know what I mean? Except for that one thing that just kind of sticks out, man. And it's just ugly. That's why I said we're doing the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that's the ugly part. But you know what? It actually sounds really good and it works really well. Nobody complains about it, and it's pretty versatile. I mean, for our small studio here, where we just normally in this room we just cut vocals, sometimes guitar, but mostly just cutting vocals, 1 mic at a time, maybe 2 if it's a guitar amp or something we might want to put 2. But yeah, no, it's just. And I say it's ugly, but it's not really that bad. But yeah, it does work great. And if you guys need a headphone distribution system, this is an affordable one for smaller, project studios. If you need more than, like I said, we have 4 drops that we can put in there, so we could feed up to 4 different headphones each. I think each box has 2 headphone outs as well, so you could split. But it's just 1 mix. But you can get 4 separate mixes to 4 different artists, 4 different people in the room if you need to. So it's actually not bad. It's actually not bad at all. It's just ugly. So, hey, hopefully you enjoyed that as much as I did bringing it to you. This is fun, man. I love just looking at stuff. I love testing out stuff and trying different things. And man, that TAPCO squeeze has got to go. I tell you what, that's a nasty piece of gear. So next week, we're going to be in Studio A. Man, there's so much more stuff to look at in there. I'm not going to tell you what we're going to look at, but there's some pretty cool stuff. There's one shitty piece that we're going to look at. Yeah, okay, you guys are going to argue with me and you're going to hate me, and that's fine. That's fine. This is what we do. It's just my opinion, your opinion. We all got these opinions. So, but you're going to argue with me on one piece of gear in Studio A. So let's talk about that. Now that you've come all the way through the entire thing, we're going to be doing a microphone giveaway. Okay, so we're giving away some microphones. You can see there's the link that you need there to get signed up. We're going to choose somebody at the end of the month. We're going to just pull a name out the hat and send you some microphones. So here's the actual link if you need it here. There's the actual link if you want it there. It's learnprorecording.com/mic giveaway. Man, go get signed up. They're free mics. I'm giving you some Sterling microphones. I think it's the 150, 130 package. It's a large diaphragm condenser and a small diaphragm condenser. I pulled them out of the box. I tried them and never used them. So I figured I'd give them to somebody who might need them more than I do. So there you go. So if you guys are excited about next week, Studio A, join me here the same time, same place, the podcast here at LPR Sound Foundation. We're going to be doing a little bit more. We're going to be separating the channel up a little bit. I want to do more gear reviews like this. I want to show you one piece of gear at a time. So I'm going to make a playlist just for gear reviews, another playlist for businessy stuff. Sharing with you the automations that we use and the accounting systems that we use for our business as a recording studio and my business as an audio engineer, a freelance audio engineer. So there's just tons of stuff that I want to share with you, man. This is all about learning the art and business of recording. So I'm glad you're here. And check me out next Monday on the podcast. And then also check out Thursday Live, man. Thursday Live, I know it changes, the time changes sometimes, but it has to do, we deal with the studio schedule. If somebody's booked, we try to do it in the evenings, but sometimes the studio gets booked and I got to do the live thing in the morning because it is live. And, I'm just there to answer your questions and help. I usually show you something, but I'm there to answer your questions and basically coach you along the way. We spend a half hour together every Thursday. It's a lot of fun. So come over and hang out with me on Thursdays. Get signed up to the microphone giveaway, man. It's learnprorecording.com/mic giveaway. Go grab that, and we will see you guys on the blog post on Wednesday. And, of course, I'll see you Thursday live. Have a great week. Go forth. Get some work. Make some money, quit your damn day job when you're ready, not just yet. The kids like to eat food for some reason. they got started on this habit of eating every day, and they just want to keep going. So no, look, that's funny. But look, when you're ready, we can help coach you along the way and, you know, help you build your business. I've done it. I built my own. I've had this one for 20 years, and it's working. It pays the bills, man. I tell you what. So when you guys are ready, let me know. I'm here for you. I'll be your coach and your mentor along the way. So, hey, go forth. Have a great week. Again, my name is Donnie Baker, and we will see you guys next time